Hey, what's up, Doxers? Welcome to another video. This is your teacher, Ivo, and I'm here with my beautiful wife, Gabi.
Hello.
And my really good friend, Robynne from New Zealand.
Kia ora.
And now you guys are going to watch a little talk we're going to have here. We're at home, just chilling, and let's see how it goes. All right, Robynne, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi. Kia ora is a saying we have in New Zealand. It's from the indigenous Māori people. And it means hi, but it can also mean thank you. Yeah. And I was born in New Zealand, but I travelled and worked in many different countries around the world. And in New Zealand, I have a lot of Brazilian students in my English classes. So now it's nice because when I go back to New Zealand and I teach Brazilian people, I can say, yes, I have been to Brazil. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pleased to be here.
Awesome. Pleased to have you too. Gabi, please introduce yourself.
Okay. So, hi,
For
my
those
name
that
is
don't know.
Gabriella. As everyone knows, I'm Ivo's wife. That's the main title nowadays, right?
What is her name, Ivo's wife?
I work with him at DOX, but no, I'm not a teacher. He's the teacher, the pedagogic part of it.
I'm the teacher. Robynne, how long have you been working as an English teacher again?
Over 20 years now.
20 years.
Mm-hmm.
What can you share with us about the experience of being an English teacher?
Where do I start? I think the main thing about being an English teacher, it's just a catalyst for one, being able to travel the world, and two, meeting and making friends with lots of people from different countries. New Zealand in particular is a very multicultural country. You have a lot of people who choose to make their homes in New Zealand. So for the last 5-6 years I've been working in a educational institute, Polytech, and people could study what we call New Zealand Certificate in English Language. And I was teaching on the level 4, mostly academic course, and this was mostly for people of a high level of English who then needed a proof that they could cope with higher education and maybe wanted to go into studying for a degree in early childhood or marine studies or mechanic or many different courses they wanted to do.
Is a certificate for you to use in New Zealand, to study there, or is something that you can use internationally?
At this stage it's not an international qualification, but if universities and polytechs within New Zealand recognise it as being meeting a criteria in order to study for a certificate, a diploma, and in some cases a degree.
What are the biggest challenges of teaching an international class? Because you have people from all over the world, right?
Yeah. It's paying attention to individual needs. So, for example, if we're looking at pronunciation, obviously a Chinese speaker will have different needs compared to maybe a French or a Portuguese speaker.
Right.
And also the grammar is very different. The order of words and sentences, we're lucky because our languages are similar into how the sentence structure is. But other languages like Russian or Vietnamese or Thai or anything like that, where people not only work in a different script, but they also have a completely different structure, is challenging. So normally what I do is I analyse who's in my class and look for the particular needs of that first language that they have. And at times we might have separate workshops to cater for the specific learning. But on the plus side is they have to speak in English. So it means that, you can put people who don't speak who don't have the same mother tongue together, and you have to speak in English.
You
can't
have to speak in
translate,
English.
Yeah. And it just So yes, there are some challenges, but I think there's more positives about it because people learn so much from each other and the different cultures that they bring.
That's great. And this is something that I always tell my students because they tend to rely on translation all the time, right? This is like the natural inclination, and most people have whenever they want to learn a second language, a third language, they use Google Translate and dictionaries. Dictionaries are fine, but for one word or two, but not like the whole thing. So
Yeah.
they want, because what I reckon is that they want to be perfect.
And you see some terrible translations. It's like, what does that sentence mean?
Exactly. And I
Doesn't
tell
make
them,
any
I tell
sense.
them that's not only like a matter of like translating, like janela is window and televisão is TV. No, you need context.
Absolutely, yeah.
Take the word get, for instance. What does get even mean? If you don't have like a context, or if you have another word with it, get doesn't really mean anything. You get it. Yeah, so I understand. Can you get that for me? Can you take that for me? So context also determines what that word means, right? And people don't seem to understand that. They focus on the translation, and that's all.
Yeah, yeah. That's an adult thing.
They
as
don't-
well.
they don't
It's
even
like the
try.
fear.
They don't even try to understand the context at first. They focus on translating the words individually. I think this is one of the biggest mistakes
Yeah,
most people make.
yeah. A really interesting exercise I usually do at the beginning of a class is, even at an advanced class, I'll give a simple sentence in English and I'll say, okay, I want you to translate that into your own language. Write it in the script that you normally use, whatever. And then I get each person to present that to the rest of the class or someone who doesn't speak that language. And people are in awe of the Asian languages because they realize, oh my gosh, it's so different, and look at what you have to do in order to learn English, whereas Portuguese, Spanish, French, Italian speakers, we already know that that's an A and that's an E, and we can work out what the word might be.
Do you think it's like there is a certain point that you can translate and then you have to stop and are you going to, I don't know, do a transition to it, or like just never do it?
I think, if it's really holding you up and you're learning, then translate the word. Because otherwise it just becomes frustrating and people give up. Because they need to understand a new word, for example, and you can spend a long time miming it out or putting it in another context or something. Sometimes just doing a simple translation for a word,
Okay.
if that's holding them back from understanding where that word fits in the context that we're using for learning, then translation is fine. I don't have an issue. When I'm learning a language, I need to translate and know what it means in my own language. Yeah. But I think, there are stages as adults we need to go through. And learning vocabulary by itself, learning grammar by itself, what for? You need to have a story or a situation or something like that to what is language about. Language is not just about words, it's body language, it's all those things that
Perspective.
and the same thing that we are is that we're humans. So, and that's the thing that amazes me, the sayings and the idioms that we have in our own language. They have them all around the world, meaning the same kinds of things. The words might be different, but it's like, it's not, so we have this universal language anyway, really.
Yep. I don't have an issue as well when a student really needs the translation of a specific word and you try your best to explain to them what that word means in English and it doesn't work, then it's okay to translate as long as it doesn't become an addiction. Otherwise...
Sorry to interrupt, but, once they get to a certain level, then go to an English dictionary.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't know this word. When I'm reading a book, I come across words I don't know. I need to go to a dictionary and find out a synonym,
Yep.
the antonym, and what it means, because
Right.
you expand your vocabulary that way. So once you get to a certain level, intermediate and above.
Yeah, I remember experiencing that because I was trying to read books, and that was a challenge.
Yeah.
Like I would keep like using the dictionary all the time. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna improve a little bit, and then I go back to try this. And when I did, I couldn't find some words in the normal dictionary, like Portuguese to English. And then he said, use an English dictionary. Like my life makes sense. So much easier.
Which you would do if you were at school and just learning Portuguese.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's another way that you can expand your vocabulary because you will come across other words as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And then it
it
branches
means the
out.
same as that. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's easier to say. I might stay with that one until
Yeah.
I conquer the other one. The other
Before you asked me
pronunciation.
about words that could mean problem, and then we started like thinking, brainstorming, you know, all the words that could be similar to, synonymous with
Yeah.
problem, the word
Yeah.
problem, right? And then we thought of setbacks, difficulties, struggles, conundrums. And that's the beauty of learning a language. You're always learning new things, right? And then a non-native English speaker is estimated to know something around 2,500 up to 9,000 words. And that will be like a C1 level, advanced. Whereas a native English speaker is estimated to know 25,000 words. So this is why, you know, like the daily things that you wouldn't normally learn in a classroom. Just pick any example you can think of. This is why native speakers of that particular language will know more words because they use them every day. And words that are also not like commonly found in textbooks. Because when you're studying through textbooks, you have like a specific pattern, and it's usually according to the European framework, right? Oh, this is an A1, this is an A2, this is a B1, B2, and so on and so forth. But there's more than that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
What tips could you give to a C1 learner, for example, to expand their vocabulary and not being just stuck in this 9,000 words?